Find out about billions in pandemic relief available right now, why Joe Biden might be making some big cuts to his infrastructure bill, how millions of kids are yet to see their child tax credit, plus when they can expect to see a check, and how people walked out on our president, on Joe Biden, during discussions of a certain touchy subject. Hey everybody, while discussions of a fourth stimulus check are still gaining traction in the White House, there are still options for you right now if you're struggling to get through the pandemic. Right now, there's $46.6 billion in available aid for those who are behind on their rent because of the pandemic. Do not give up, folks. This is real money for you that you don't want to miss out on. What's crazy about that is that only $7.7 billion of that have ever been touched. So if you're struggling to pay your rent, that money is practically begging for you to take it, saying, please, it's already there. Please don't let it go back to the government. They don't know how to deal with money. I just got to be honest with you. Not to mention, if you're a homeowner, there's a $10 billion mortgage assistance program that is still available for you as well. I'll say it again, $10 billion in mortgage assistance, a program that's still available for you to take advantage of. Also, if you work in the food and farm or meat packing industry, you're entitled to $600. Yep, that's for you. There are other available as well. We'll leave a link in the description for you to check it out because there's quite a few programs that are just not being touched. Money just laying out there for people that people aren't taking. Meanwhile, Senator Joe Manchin told the White House that he strongly opposes the clean electricity program. Interesting. This means that staffers are having to take a look at the infrastructure bill and make some, rewrites to accommodate this one person. Manchin spokesman Sam Rinyan said, quote, Senator Manchin has clearly expressed his concern about using taxpayers' dollars to pay private companies to do things they already do. He continued to support efforts to combat climate change while protecting American energy independence and ensuring our energy reliability, end quote. This is more crony capitalism that is sort of going on that is filtering through our government to funnel money to people like, Elon Musk. Because then you get solar for free, they're guaranteed to be paid, and they have the infrastructure to capitalize on it when people are doing it anyway. There are other ways to give people incentives. Many were quick to point out that Manchin comes from the very old, rich West Virginia, and that he makes $500,000 each year off oil companies. Interesting. Conflict of interest? Maybe. Fellow Democrats are obviously not happy about the very possibility of this being written out of the infrastructure bill. Yeah, stoked. Yep, an expert on the climate policy, Lee Stokes, quote, this is absolutely the most important climate policy in the package. We fundamentally need it to meet our climate goals. That's just the reality. And now we can't. So this is pretty sad, end quote. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below should we have programs in there that are going to funnel money to billionaires that already have infrastructure in place to be able to do that? As many of you know, Tesla was without carbon credits and without the government lending money would not be a company today. As much as we love Tesla, our government and carbon credits and charging other companies paved the way for Tesla to create a car that kept going even though it wasn't making a profit. Next up, we are 4 months into the child tax credit monthly payouts, and apparently there are countless kids who have yet to benefit from these checks and parents that are just not getting them. A study by the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities showed that there's a gap in who is receiving the CTC, child tax credit, and the 4 million more children have not received their payments. The University of Minnesota data scientist Jose Pacas said, quote, if anything, I'd say the 4 million might be a little bit low. The estimates I've seen have ranged from 6 to 7 million children who are falling through the cracks right now. Packus said that in all likelihood, the parents were told that they didn't qualify or didn't file their taxes, so they didn't bother to follow up with it. Even though the chances are, if they updated their information to the IRS portal, which we've been telling people to do, they'd find that they do qualify. So make sure you get to the portal and fix that if you're in that category. Those who receive these major benefits experienced a major drop in food insecurity by about 25% to households with children after the payments started to, roll in. While the number is incredible, it's frustrating to know that it could have been much, much higher. So please make sure you follow up with the IRS, go to that portal, update your information. It's a bit of a mess. So you may have been told you don't qualify even though you did, and maybe they just didn't have the correct information. I'll leave a list of the child tax credit requirements in the description. If you check all the boxes, so to speak, you do qualify. And finally, the walk-in. These boots are made for walking, and they walked right out on Joe Biden. Finally, let's back to Joe Biden real quick. Immigration activists walked out on a virtual meeting with Biden's administration and top officials. Yep, they left on purpose. They didn't just go, oh, I'm having computer internet problems. No, they made it official that they were walking out to make a stand to show, these are top officials. This is yesterday, Saturday, where they accused the administration of, quote, playing politics with human lives, end quote, and that they couldn't, quote, come into these conversations in good conscience, end quote. Wow. So not technical difficulties, but literally showed a walkout. The walkouts were, how do you walk out on Zoom anyway? But do you get up and you just walk out? How does that? I don't know. Anyway, we're walking out now. Yeah, I guess maybe they say that. The walkouts were mainly because Biden's plan to continue a policy for the president that President Donald Trump created, as much as he probably hates that. The policy forces asylum seekers to wait it out in Mexico while the individual cases were processed in court. A very slow process. Louise Guerra, a strategic capacity officer at the Catholic League Immigration Network, said, quote, I think they're afraid of the backlash of anti-immigration groups and will continue to remind them that the backlash will exist regardless of what they do. We don't actually believe that they do everything in their power to actually restore asylum on the borders the way that they said they're trying to, end quote. So it's obvious. It's a very touchy subject, and it looks like Biden's being challenged at every turn for a better or for worse. I'm very curious to see what your thoughts are in the comments below. And also, did they cover most of the stimulus and they waited till the end? Let's wait till the end to talk about immigration because everybody's going to leave. Let's get all the production done about your money, and then we'll talk about the touchy subjects, and then everybody can leave. And politics is kind of a circus, like a show, and it's a show, folks, and it's the craziest show in town. That's your stimulus check, second stimulus check, and your executive action and executive order stimulus package update. Thank you for watching and for sticking around. Have a happy weekend. Please leave a comment. Tell me your favorite indie movie. What's your favorite? Mine is actually Pulp Fiction. I think it did an amazing job with that. Reservoir Dogs probably before that. I'm Andrew Cartwright. Please stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. I love you. I've worked my ass off. I will die for my audience.
I don't want to be someone that they feel they can't touch.
People will call you out.
Oh, all day.
Yeah.
They call me out all day.
I can type in the search bar in Google, Raider, and then